Have you ever found blood in your stool?
I have.
Welcome to NightBlog.
Greetings, fellow stargazers. Tonight, we're just going to tell you a little bit more about ourselves, because we like to talk about pop culture, video games, movies, music, TV shows. We like to play games, but tonight, we just want you to know a little bit more about us. And so we're going to get hilariously vulnerable with you.
Oh boy. And candid camera here, Vlad. I know you and I have talked about these stories before. And it's those like campfire type talks, you know, where you're like, I want to tell you a story that I've really not told anyone. And you have one of those moments where you're like, oh, somehow we're better friends, but that's disgusting. And we want to share that experience with you guys. So consider the internet our campfire. We're sitting down at night. You can hear crickets. You want them to shut up, but you can hear them. And please regale us with... Oh, you want me? You know what? I should probably go first.
I'm gonna let you go first.
Yeah, so...
I'd like for you to go first.
Let me get vulnerable. Now, I don't get sick super often, but when I do, I get sick super bad. So when I get the flu, it's not like, oh, I've got the cold sweats, I should lay down. It's like, oh, like, just
projectile,
consistent. Like, if there's anything there, like that I'm functioning with, like if I'm pumping the tire, well, the air's leaking out somewhere, So I got the flu, but I was already playing drums at church.
Okay.
And so, I'm going up, and basically everyone's like, do you need to not play? Like, should we find someone else? I'm like, no, I got it, So they let me lay down, they turned off the lights.
You're a beast like that, right?
Well, I thought so. And so, just as like a backup, they gave me a bucket, and we were like, oh, I'm not going to need this. So we're playing a worship set, right? Mm-hmm. Between songs, I'm just like, well, as I'm playing, I feel this like vertigo, and I'm like,
oh no.
I'm like, this is it. Like, it's going to happen. And I'm just... you're just closing your eyes and I'm playing, and the second we stop, I just lean... What?
Is there a drum shield?
There is.
Okay,
so
good.
if I had just gone full Exorcist,
okay,
we would have... But I think there might have been an uproar in the church.
It would have been like the scene from The Sandlot.
Yes. So I lean over, and at the last crash, I grab the bucket, and just... And I have drum mics everywhere. And it picks it up, and there's reverb, and it's beautiful. And then I click back into the next song... and keep going. And I look around at the rest of the band, and they're all just... And then they go back to what they're doing, and they go backstage, and they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, I need to lay down. Because like when you throw up, you have these like unprovoked tears.
You're weak.
Yeah,
after
your
that.
body
You're
is
trembling.
Just, everything about you is like kind of revolting.
Because it's a violent process.
Guys, I gotta lay down, Anyways, so that's mine.
Now, was the hurl on the beat at least?
I imagine if there were a tempo, I found it.
Okay, good.
So please, make me feel better.
Well, this is a story that actually, I tell this about anybody who listens, to be honest.
Well.
Because I think it's kind of hilarious.
We are cut from two different cloths.
Yes, we are. But mine's a great conversation starter. I have backwards intestines.
Is this how you start conversations?
This is actually...
Is this how we became friends?
Probably. We became friends before I found this out. Uh-huh. Though, there's one time when I was staying the night at your house as a kid, I had like that really bad stomach pain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I should have gone to the hospital.
Oh, we didn't know that.
We didn't know that.
No.
My mom didn't know that. She's a nurse, and she should have known that. But when I was 14 years old, I come back from a winter camp that I went with a friend for a weekend. And I come back, I am pooping blood. And it was well water there, so my mother, who's a nurse in the GI intestinata field of medicine, thinks, all right, it's probably just a bacteria from the well water. We'll take him to the doctor tomorrow morning after you take your exam, because exams had started that week.
Okay.
So I had one exam that day, and then we had like shortened periods for the rest of the day for high school.
So stool blood can wait.
So, but the thing is, by the time I woke up the next morning, I was lightheaded. I couldn't walk across the room without having to take a break and breathe heavily. I had to take a break coming upstairs, and I was much paler. And so I take my exam, and I'm like labored breathing, just trying to keep up at a slow walking pace with my teacher. But I don't want to like tell her that like I'm pooping blood. It's a little embarrassed at the moment, but I did throw up that morning. So they're like, can I, after the exam, go home?
And she's like, yes, creeper.
She's like, are you okay? No. You look really pale. I'm like, I feel awful. So I take the exam, and I go up to her like, can I go home? Can you wait till the exam period is over? Otherwise, I have to ask for an escort. No, I need to go home now. So they escort me to the office, because that's like what they have to do. I go to the doctor's, and when I'm at the doctor, they're like, all right, so you're bleeding, you're pooping blood. We have to take a look. Mm-hmm. So this doctor, she takes this cone.
Take a look.
She takes this cone. She shows me this cone thing. She says, I'm going to take this cone. It's like this big. Goes this bag around. It has a little thing that comes up and then it comes out. So that way it's like flat on top. She goes, I'm going to stick this up your butt.
Did she say butt?
Yes. And then I'm going to pull this part out and leave the cone part in. I'm going to shine a light up there. Just showing me everything's happening. I don't need to know the moving parts, lady. I just need to know, be ready, because this is going to be uncomfortable. That's all I need to know.
Right.
So she sticks it up there. Mm-hmm. And my mom's in the room with me, which is embarrassing.
No, that's great.
But then I start giggling because I don't know what else to do. And the only way to keep my sanity in this moment is I say, man, I may have to feel this, but you're the one that has to look up there right now. And then when
doctors love that.
When she pulls the cone out, I apologize because I thought I pooped on her.
Did you?
No, there's just a cone coming out.
I'm so sorry I pooped on you.
Yeah, I apologize for that. And then she leaves the room. I'm putting my pants back on, and she comes back in. I'm still just in my boxers on my pants on. She gets embarrassed, turns around and faces the corner of the room and continues talking to me. I'm thinking, lady, you just saw more of me than my future wife will ever see.
Hopefully.
Of me. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I married a nurse. So they admit me to the hospital after that because I'd lost half of my blood volume. Half of it. Through the pooping blood. Yeah. That's how I looked so pale. And so they scheduled me for emergency surgery. I had what's called a Meckel's diverticulum. It's remnant stomach tissue in my intestines from when I was an embryo that all my life, for 14 years, was excreting acid in my stomach. And finally ruptured my intestines and caused me to bleed. So they remove it, but when they go to remove it, it's not in the place where the scan showed it was because it had moved. Because they found out that where my large and small intestine meet aren't set in place. It just kind of moved from side to side in my body. Mm-hmm. So it should have taken an hour. It took 3 hours to find it, and they cut it out, and my appendix was wrapped around it, so they cut that out too. And then they kept me in the hospital for a few more days just to do another scan, and my intestines had moved some more. And I remember sitting in the scan room, the technician points at this monitor and goes, you see this part on the screen? There's like this blob of intestines on the screen. And he points to one side. He goes, right there, that's where your large and small intestine meet. You see it? I'm like, yeah. Okay, that's supposed to be on that side of your body. The complete opposite side. Uh-huh. You got a problem.
It's like watching football game film.
Yeah, so like that stomach pain when we were kids and I was over your house, that was actually my intestines moving, having a blockage, an obstruction, and then unobstructing.
Right. What this is an elaborate lie of why he left instead of spending the night.
No, I did stay the night and we had eggs the next morning.
Eggs, see? I like eggs.
I like eggs.
You wanted cereal.
I think your sister
Now, I just learned that you like cereal more than eggs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't give you cereal.
That's okay.
Maybe it would have fixed everything.
Well, no, obviously it wouldn't have because I still would have bled later. And here's the thing. I got an A in that exam with half my blood volume.
You don't need blood for smarts. You need smarts
Obviously
for
not.
blood?
Yes.
Story time. So you've heard enough stories about us. Let's tell you stories about our favorite fictional characters in places that don't exist.
Or do.
To help you sleep. Because what we've told you is not going to help you sleep. And in fact, your dreams will be disturbing.
Like mine, every night.
We start off in Springfield, USA, which is totally a real place.
Anytime.
Or a completely fictitious place.
It's everywhere and anywhere you want to be.
And we start with
a toy soldier. Nice little guy. Made out of tin. Has a little drum. Because he's
that kind of toy soldier.
Yeah,
okay.
You know, he's a toy soldier, and he's a happy little toy soldier.
What beat was that?
I played trombone. You were the drummer.
Oh, so if you do the drums again, just do that.
That's the toy soldier. There we go.
Okay. Oh, but you know what? The kitchen's on fire.
And you know in Springfield, USA, in this house that the toy soldier lives in, he's trying to get away from the kitchen, but he's tall, he's tiny.
Yeah.
He's not tall.
You said he's made of tin, so this is really, really dangerous.
Yeah, and so but his legs don't move that well. It's like.
Oh, he's bound on his legs. So he's got the wibble wobble.
So he's trying to get away from this kitchen fire.
Well, at least he gets a handicapped parking spot with that whole
Yeah, if you can drive a car, but I guess it's a little Playmobil thing.
Maybe he has like an RC car. Oh.
But fortunately, a meteor hits Earth.
Good thing. Because then that's the least of his worries.
Because it becomes the least of his worries.
Fire.
Because the sun is blocked out.
Right.
It's a full-on nuclear winter. There's looting in the streets.
Right. So this whole kitchen fire looks really nice right about now.
Right about now, he's wishing that's the only thing he was taking care of.
Yeah. But, you know what? Everyone is given gas X to control their wild flatulence, and...
Which then warms back the earth, clearing the ash from the sky to reveal the sun.
Not quite as flammable as it used to be.
Yeah, and it puts out the kitchen fire, the wind. And the tin toy soldier is safe and happy.
Thanks to gas X.
Wild flatulence.
I feel better already.
Sweet dreams. What a dog.
Devil dog.
What a jerk. He's a dog I grew up with. I loved him, but he was a jerk.
What did he sound like? Yeah, that's a beautiful voice.
Part of his personality we have to blame on my cousin Ryan. Because Ryan would come and he'd take Carter, and he'd just like, hey Carter, and just like start doing this to him on the couch, and like just pushing him in. And...
Doing your psych evaluation.
Oh, I'm failing. I know that.
Since it's on my real computer, I know that you are the one insane. The results say, though, you suffer from butt blood.